Hello! Welcome to issue number 13 of The Big Reveal. I am Amelia Kallman. So a couple things before we get started. I'm going to be speaking on the 12th of September at Robinson College, Cambridge University as the keynote at the Liability Insurance Conference, which I'm very excited about. And do check out the link on my website for 20% off of tickets to Wired Smarter, which is the 9th of October. I am helping to curate the startup zone at the event, and it's going to be really cool. And I guess the highlight of this month for me was that I finally got to Hollowport, which was incredible. It's a real kind of beam me up Scotty moment. So I was invited by James from Double Me to go down to their Hollow Portal at Ravensbourne University, and I was recorded in one room with two Kinects while a 360-degree 3D holographic image of me was able to be seen in the other room on a Microsoft HoloLens in real time. So that is the coolest thing. So this technology has been used to help a couple billionaires sign deals together, like as if they're in the same room, and it's also been helping children to have visits from their grandparents if they're too sick to leave the house or that kind of thing. So it was really cool. Big thank you to James and Chris for having me down there. It was a thrill. So I'm going to get into the big reveal, and why I wanted to do this YouTube explanation was because it gets a bit more in-depth into why I decided that these were the ones for this month that I thought were the coolest and just deserved to be here. So let's start with Zipwire. So this was an experience that I got to have down in South London at Archbishop's Park. It's available through September 9th. I highly recommend it. It was probably one of the best experiences I've had with 360 video in a VR set. So I did it once regularly. It's the longest, fastest city center Zipwire in the world. And it was cool. It seemed a bit short though, to be honest. But then I got to try it with a headset, and in 360 video, it's like you're flying over the desert on the Zipwire, the world's Guinness Book of World Records longest Zipwire in the world, and that was a really cool experience. It made the whole thing seem like it was longer. I was like, miles above the desert looking down. It was crazy, and I enjoyed it more than the regular experience. It was a fine use for this technology, really. And one of the things is I was kind of worried that I would feel sick, but actually, with virtual reality, why you can get that feeling of like car sickness kind of is because your eyes and your ears are feeling like they're moving, but your brain knows that it's not moving, so instead it thinks it's been poisoned, and that's why you have that sickness feeling. So on the Zipwire, because you're moving and you're seeing in that direction anyways, there's no way you can get sick. So I highly recommend it. It's a bit expensive, but it's available till September 9th, and it was just a really cool experience. Magisto. So this is an AI video editing app, which is cool. This is, again, something that James introduced me to that I didn't know about before. So you can just put your pictures and your videos onto this program, and it uses this emotion sense technology to try to detect the intended emotion of the video, and it will choose styles and moods and music to complement this, and it'll also pick out the most engaging moments and basically use AI to make the most engaging video possible. So maybe I'll use that for this next time. Okay, then we have some breakthrough news. So for a while now, we've been able to 3D print live living human cells. So you've probably heard things like, like human ears being printed and that kind of thing. But one of the things that we hadn't been able to do until now was print the kind of cells that help to regenerate the body. So specifically talking about spinal cord injuries, basically these kind of cells have never been able to survive the 3D printing process. But at University of Minnesota, the researchers have found this way to print in this kind of like rubbery, soft scaffolding way that it's been able to retain 75% of the cells to keep alive. So what this means as far as spinal cord injuries and stuff go is that we're not only fixing the problem, we're actually fixing it in a way that it can regenerate and hopefully restore back to original health, which is pretty cool. So number 4 is Ink Hunter. So this is an augmented reality app that lets you scroll through a bunch of different tattoos and see what they would look like on your body. So I think this one's been around for a little while, but what they've recently added is the feature for artists to actually upload their own tattoos and for people to try those ones on and then also get in touch and book local artists, which I think is a really cool feature and nice way to use it. So I might have a play with that one later. For growers. So this is a startup. I believe they're based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I was born. And what they have done is they are using robotics to harvest food. So there's been a labor shortage, and also this is something that is really dear to my heart. Basically, there's enough food in the world to feed everybody 3 times a day, but it doesn't get distributed and doesn't get harvested. So a lot of the times, I know at least in the States, farmers are only paid to do one harvest. So the things that maybe aren't as good looking or maybe not ripe yet, they just go to waste. So this is an interesting take on it. I'm always kind of interested in looking around technology that could help this area. And they have created a robot that can do up to the work of 4 laborers at once. So it's really cool. At the moment it's just doing tomatoes, but hopefully it'll branch out into other things soon. They're definitely one to watch though. Spate, this wants to be like the Google Trends for business. It's a really cool idea. It's basically taking trends in real time that are specific to your business or industry and feeding them back to you. So they predicted the cold brew fad and the turmeric fad. They predict that yellow is going to be the next big color. And then there's things that maybe are more specific that you can ask and they will report back on. So it's a really good way to know like what the zeitgeist is, what's happening right now. I think it's pretty cool. Deep fakes. Okay, I had to put this one in. You might already know about deep fakes. I know that there's a video going around of Obama where they had put different words into his mouth, and that's sort of where the phrase got started. But a couple months ago, I think it was earlier this year, when they were starting to break stories about how people, especially high schoolers, have gotten a hold of this stuff, and basically you can take people's faces and put them on top of porn stars. And this is like a new kind of revenge porn that's going around. So now, actually, the porn companies have picked up on this, and they, Naughty America, is that right? Yeah. Naughty America is one of them. And they are actually charging people money to have their faces or their partner's faces superimposed into their favorite porn. Except there's no way to tell if the photos that are submitted are consensual. So that's something that they're going to have to work on and figure out. There's also a call to have them watermarked so that you can know the difference between a real porn and a fake one, a deep fake one. So this is definitely an area to watch. And, I gotta say that the porn industry is always leading in technology. So this is definitely just one of those instances where they're ahead of the game. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, Waymo. So this is a driverless taxi service that is brought to us by Alphabet, which is Google's parent company. And they have been trialing these for the last year in just outside Phoenix, Arizona. And I guess it's going pretty good because they're looking to go public by the end of the year. So the people of Phoenix have been able to enjoy free rides in driverless vehicles, but they will be charging when they do launch. And at the initial launch, they'll have chaperones that are also in the car, I guess, to make sure if anything goes wrong. I don't know. I definitely probably need some other people to be really confident in the driverless taxi situation before I personally get into one. But it is the future, and I do wish them luck. So 3D look. Okay, so I had been told about this app where you could take the measurements of your body. You take your phone basically, and you just like run it down your body, and it takes the measurements. If anybody knows what that app is called, please message me and tell me, because I was actually looking for that when I came across this one. And this one's pretty cool. It's called 3D Look. So you take a couple pictures of yourself, and then from those pictures, it's able to know your measurements, your body shape, your sizes, up to a 98% accuracy. So when you're buying clothes online, or if you're in e-commerce and you're trying to help out your customers to get a better fit and cut down on returns, this is a really cool app to check out. Also, when you have the avatar on your phone, you can try things on in augmented reality, which is kind of neat, and put together outfits. Finally, so House of Laird. So Tawny Laird is the founder of Digital Jam. She is a real mover and groover in the VR AR community here in London. She's been a big influence on me, and she's a dear friend. She's currently fighting cancer. And, you know, not taking this lying down, she has found a bit of a niche in the market for clothing that is tailored specifically for chemo patients. So this would be clothing that gives access to the PICC lines and has other kind of features in that way. And she plans to launch a runway show by the end of the year with real chemo patients and cancer survivors. And it sounds amazing. It's a really good cause. And she has a GoFundMe page up right now. And there's a link, again, on my website or in the latest copy of The Big Reveal. And it would be really awesome if you're in a position to help her to donate, even if it's just a little bit, to help her make this dream come true. So that is what I've got for you this month. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all next month. Mwah! Bye!